Why are clothes so expensive? Well, here's the scoop. Clothing companies rely entirely on the money from selling clothes to cover their costs. So, what exactly are these costs, and why are some clothes so expensive while others are so cheap? First, let's talk design. Creating clothes involves either a solo designer juggling everything from research and material sourcing to sketches and technical drawings. Or there might be a whole team of experts, including tech designers, creative directors, fashion forecasters, textile designers, assistants for the assistants. You get the idea. For new or complex styles, there are multiple rounds of samples and revisions. This can take weeks or months. You'll need to change the fabric again, and who will be the fit model? Maybe you should get 2 or 3 fit models, depending on your size range. Not all the fabric will come from the same place. Some of it will be in Asia, some will come from Europe, and some will come from the fabric supplier down the street. And there will be a different timeline for each. You might even need a special calendar app to manage all of this. Once the patterns are finalized, it's time to manage production. This involves everything from finalizing fabric orders and trims to tracking international shipments of bolts of fabric and dealing with customs and duties. Someone has to handle the purchase orders for the main fabric, contrast fabric, a second contrast fabric, lining fabric, pocketing, interfacing, buttons, button stays, snaps, zippers. Then there's grading the patterns for the size range. Unfortunately, there is no button to push to automatically grade your patterns to different sizes. This must be done by hand. Some pattern graders don't do plus sizes or petites, so you might need to hire another grader who specializes in extended sizing. The sewing factory may not want to produce more than 4 to 5 sizes for a small batch, so you might need to make a spreadsheet to determine how many sizes you can actually afford to make, since the factory requires that you order 3 times as many units if you double the size range. Then someone needs to make the markers, not the kind kids use in art class, the kind that provide the guide for cutting the fabric. Then cutting the fabric, bundling the fabric, and don't forget the actual sewing of the garments. The fabric is often cut in one factory and then sewn in another one. Make sure all that fabric gets transported without losing a bundle. And then what should be done with the fabric waste? Should we let it go to a landfill or spend some more money trying to repurpose those scraps into scrunchies or other small accessories? Someone will probably need to make a cost-benefit spreadsheet to analyze that. If you're dealing with custom prints or embroidery, add those costs to the mix. And don't forget about finishing touches. Garments might need to be dyed, washed, pressed, and tagged before they're ready to ship. Did you remember to order plastic bags for each garment? Oh, and don't forget to research biodegradable mailers and address labels and go down that rabbit hole of trying to determine which packaging has the least environmental impact. You might even need to dedicate an entire blog post to explaining to your customers why you made the choices you did. Then there's overhead. Customer service, returns, rent, utilities, security, and HR are all part of the equation. Even interns and janitors are part of the payroll. And let's not forget to pay the accounting department that pays everyone else. Then there's the sales process. Sales reps, whether they're on commission, salary, or a mix, they need to be paid too. They're responsible for selling those samples, and their work is supported by promotional efforts like line sheets, lookbooks, commercials, billboards, trade show booths, showroom fees, and traveling costs. All of these expenses contribute to the wholesale price. And yes, retailers mark up their prices too, because rent, insurance, taxes, employees, etc., etc., etc. And then there's shipping, which most customers expect to be free, but that has to get built into the price of the garment somehow too. Now let's talk about marketing. Marketing plays a huge role. Think about all the social media campaigns, runway shows, the production that goes into creating eye-catching ads and content like models, photographers, videographers, hair and makeup stylists, runway set designers, sound guys, the guys who run around backstage yelling, "Go, go, go," at the runway models. You know, you get the idea. But what if you don't want to wholesale your line to a retail store and you want to sell it direct to the customer yourself? You'll need to set up a website, keep it updated, write weekly blogs with really great keywords like long sleeve black blouse, long sleeve formal black dress, and dressy black pants for proper search engine optimization. While you're at it, you should up your social media game. Make sure you're on every platform and that each platform has a shop and a team of influencers promoting your line. You might need to pay for a platform to manage all your platforms. Since it's direct to consumer, you'll have to hold the inventory yourself now. So it'll need to be shipped to a warehouse, and you might want to invest in a 3PL company to handle fulfillment for you. But maybe you really want to manage quality control with fulfillment, in which case you'll want to ship the inventory closer to you. Maybe so close to you that it's in your spare bedroom, which will also have to be stocked with everything else you need, like mailers, labels, and that special thermal printer that prints the labels. And don't forget to drop it all off to be shipped on your way to rehearsal. Let's see, anything else? I mean, there's no doubt we forgot at least a few things, like getting someone to proofread the script. So, what were we talking about anyway? Oh, right. Why are clothes so expensive? Well, now that you have a clearer picture of what goes into producing a clothing line and why clothes can be so expensive, you might actually be asking yourself, how do clothes manage to be so cheap?